Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm summarizing my job interview experiences in the UK, covering my interviews at Barclays, UK Civil Service, Manchester College and Laser Quantum, including the questions they asked and my valuable tips. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's get started. I came to UK to study a Masters in Data Science in September intake of 2022. Before that, I was working as a software engineer in India. I started applying for interviews early on in the beginning of my course itself to gain experiences in the hiring process of UK. I attended Barclays interview at that stage, and it was a virtual team interview with Chief Technical Officer and a team lead. The main questions in the interview was about my previous experiences and skill set. In the first half, the CTO asked behavioral questions. These questions are like how you behave in a hypothetical situation that they explain, like how I handle a stressful situation, how I prioritize the task to complete on time, explain a situation that I am proud of myself. While answering such questions, I always speak about my previous projects and experiences to emphasize real-time experiences I had. The second half was with team lead and he asked technical questions. The main questions was about C#, SQL and OOPS concepts. We will get these kind of questions and answers a lot in internet. The next interview I attended was a civil service interview for data analyst job. This interview had a coding round, and since it was a virtual session, they emailed me 2 tasks and gave me half an hour to complete that. Then I need to screen share to explain the answers in the first half of interview. The first task is to analyze and find insights from a dataset in CSV format. I could use any platform for that, like Excel, Python or Power BI, and I chose Python and I find missing values, imputed the missing values, I drew some graph and calculated mean, variance, etc. and I explained the insights I got. The second task was to be done in SQL. It was a beginner level questions and I used joins, having and group by clauses to solve. In the second half of interview, the panel will ask questions using the STAR method. They asked questions about my previous experiences, including data analyst experience. Since I was a student and I hadn't any real-time experience, they allowed me to answer in theoretical concepts. The next and a favorite interview I ever attended in UK is for the Manchester College assistant lecturer position. The first round was a phone interview where they gathered basic information about me, including my education background, my previous experiences, including teaching experiences. For the face-to-face round, they asked me to bring a presentation for at least 30 minutes to do a demo teaching in front of a 3-member panel on the subject how and why programs are used to extract, search and sort data. They have mentioned that demo should be interactive, that I can use games or ask questions to engage with the panel members. And after the presentation, the panel asked me some questions and they followed the next steps of interview. They wanted to check my ability to communicate to students and my technical skills. So they asked me to answer each question until they wanted me to stop. The questions included why I chose teaching over programming, where my interest lies, and that was one of the difficult or I found really hard to convince them. They asked multiple times to make sure that I'm genuinely interested in teaching. The other questions were about the programming languages and how I handle kids and about my teaching experiences. I attended civil service interview again and this time for data engineer position. As I mentioned earlier, they used STAR method for the interview and this included both behavioral and technical questions. And it was a board of 4 members to ask 2 for behavioral questions and 2 for technical questions. The behavioral questions are almost same like I explained before, like they will explain a hypothetical situation and we need to react based on that situation. Like if you are a data engineer and you need to migrate a database from one to another, and how will you handle this, or how will you plan to do all these things in time frame, how to prioritize tasks, etc. For the technical session, since it was data engineer position, the questions was mainly about ETL, data migration, data modeling, data security, and SQL. The next interview I attended was from a consultancy. I applied for a senior developer position, but they interviewed me for both data analyst and developer positions. For the software side, they asked me about my previous experiences, the challenges I faced in programming, how confident I am in my abilities, and for the data analyst side, they gave me a data set and asked me to create a dashboard in 2 days and to present it in the next interview. The next and the last interview I gave was at Laser Quantum. The first round was a phone and video interview. It went like a discussion where I shared my skill set, experience, and educational details, and they explained the organizational culture, expectations, and the job description. The next round was a face-to-face, which included both coding round and technical round. In the coding round, they asked me to create a reproducible C# code to communicate with an imaginary hardware to send and receive a request and process the output. After completing the code, they run the program to check for the correct answers. Then they asked me to write few more use cases in the code by making use of dictionaries, lists, etc. in front of them. For the technical round, they asked questions about my previous experiences, C# based hypothetical questions, and data science based questions like how to check missing values, the whole flow of a machine learning project, etc. From all these experiences, I have some tips for you. The first one is always prepare for interviews using the STAR method. Many companies in the UK utilize it for both behavioral and technical questions, so preparing in STAR method will help you to crack interviews. The next one is research the company thoroughly, including its history, headquarters, mission, vision, and the main products they have, as this is a common and important questions in interviews. And answering the such questions will show your eagerness to know about the company and join in their organization. And the final one is for introduce yourself questions. Provide a short and crisp answer that introduce all the key information about your education, experiences, and skill set. Avoid unnecessary details because as time constraints may prevent you from completing your like, share, and subscribe if you find it useful. Thank you.